is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2, Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, June 8th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Stephanie and Brandon, and we got a lot to get to, guys. Let's jump right in. We begin with my favorite topic, of course, cancel culture. And has it gone too far? First, longtime Bachelor host Chris Harrison is officially out. Chris came under fire, if you remember, for defending a contestant who attended an Old South party on a plantation when she was in college. So according to Deadline, Chris is getting, get this, an 8-figure payout for leaving the franchise. Next is actress Ellie Kemper, who you might know from The Office or Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. She is now apologizing after this picture of her went viral for showing her as the winner of a debutante ball when she was just 19. Ellie posted this on Instagram saying, quote, "The ball had an unquestionable racist, sexist, and elitist past. I was not aware of this history at the time, but ignorance is no excuse. I want to apologize to the people I've disappointed, and I promise that moving forward, I will listen, continue to educate myself, and use my privilege in support of the better society I think we're capable of becoming." So are these cases cancel culture going too far, in your opinion, or are they right on?
No, but that apology was too long. Damn.
You're telling me, man. I'm out of breath.
I mean, it's just like, yo, Jeff.
I thought that was not right.
That publicist apology, like, if I'm sitting here and if I felt offended, let's say you did something to me in our past or whatever, and I felt offended, and I wanted a genuine apology from you. I don't want to hear all these big words in there and say like, oh, and I'll help, and in the future I'll do it. No. Just come to me, Brandon. Hey, I didn't know what that was like back in the day. Had no clue. This is not who I am. Matter of fact, look at my body of work since then. Now do I deserve to be canceled? Let's just keep it like that. If we're gonna go forward, let's just keep it like that. Give me the real instead of some publicist apology.
Yeah, but how about
good
Chris
for her,
Harrison?
though.
He apologized and people didn't like his apology, so he had to issue another one on Instagram, and now he just issued another thing saying he's happy to move forward in his life. He's trying to put this behind him. But if you apologize like that, Brandon, people won't accept your apology, which is kind of the double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, and I mean, and now I'm more on the network now than for that, because if the network now, and Lindsey Granger, one of our hosts, brought it up this morning and said that, you know, after all their 26 seasons, now they want to, you know, kind of be more diverse. Now we want to bring in 2 female hosts and bring in Emmanuel Acho, who is a black host. But you're paying this man 8 figures, so are you really woke? Are you really like, no, we're not going to stand behind this, except if we give you a check to get away?
I think you're thinking what everyone else is thinking. Here, you were great, Chris. Here's $50 million. It's 8 figures, so I don't know, anywhere from there, you know, in the middle. Yeah. Here's $50 million because you've been so great. I'm sure he's executive producer of that. He's a host. I'm sure his contract, I'm sure he owns a piece of the franchise. It's like any other business. You got to buy out that person from that business and cut ties. So it's not like they're giving him a severance package and saying you did a great job. They're buying him out, and that's what you do in a business.
No, absolutely. I think the financial aspect of that definitely is solely a business deal. It's got nothing to do with like, oh, he was amazing, he's a great host, we feel bad about what's happened. No, that was literally a buyout because he is a producer on that show.
Right. Yeah.
He has been on it since its beginning.
Inception.
Inception, love that. Yes, exactly. So, you know, they have to legally do that. We've seen that with many stars when they've also, you know, something's happened mid-season, TV hosts even, and they've been signed for the next 5 years, and then they have to do that. So, but again, I think these are 2 separate things. You know, also doing something when you were 19 years old and educating yourself and releasing a public statement is very different to being a fully grown man, humiliating a woman on national television and like offending her dress. I think it's very different.
I get your point. We're going to move on, but I don't think you ever stop growing. I think to say that a 50-year-old man does something wrong, that he can't grow from that and move on with his life, but a 19-year-old could make a mistake, and that's perfectly acceptable, and then now you got the rest of your life. I think you're going to make mistakes till you're dead, and you should be able to grow from your mistakes no matter what age you are. Yeah,
I would like to see him and the show go on to do different things and evolve and change, and I just think this is the catalyst for that change, and sometimes it comes through unfortunate circumstance, but it works out best for everyone all around.
I could go on and on. All right, would you sign a non-disclosure agreement switching gears in order to sleep with a celebrity? According to BuzzFeed News, more and more stars like Charlie Sheen, whose NDA was leaked to the media in 2015, are making their one-night stands, signing contracts saying they won't spill the tea afterwards. So Stormy Daniels famously said she signed an NDA and was paid $130,000 in exchange for her silence over an alleged affair with Donald Trump. not so silent. And Candy Burrs from The Real Housewives of Atlanta said on the show that she requires NDAs before getting involved with threesomes. So, Brian, I'm going to go to you, buddy.
Why?
I know.
Go to me on this.
It's between you and Steph.
Okay. Well, I'm not that high up the totem pole.
Why does it have to be celebrities? Why can't it be anybody?
What about when you were playing football? Did footballers do stuff like that?
Let's take those football days.
Okay, those football days, absolutely not, because it was just everyone was having fun at that time. You really weren't thinking about that. You know, I never thought about getting caught up in a situation because I would be respectful, you know, in that sense. Yes, hey, I'm trying to water it down because we're on TV right now.
You were a single man, you were single, you were ready to mingle. Or what about the guys like Donald Trump who allegedly had an affair? What about the men who were married? Did they do anything like that?
I mean, they could have, but here's the thing. A lot of rich men, they get involved with the prostitution aspect of it because it's like, we're paying for you to leave. You know, instead of showering you with gifts and taking you out for drinks or anything.
So literally, like, it's a transaction.
It's just business transaction, and prostitution was what the oldest form of employment in the world. So
let's say now, though, okay, you had your NFL days, you had fun, you said everyone was just having fun. You're a little bit older now. Are you more cautious of things like that?
Absolutely. You know,
so there you go.
You remember the days where people would be like, you know, drinking in abundance would be cool at a party. And if you're with the date, especially someone who, this could be your first time hanging out and potentially hooking up, there's a cutoff limit now. So yes, I am way more aware now than what I was back in the day. But there are other celebrities, other people out there who don't care. They really don't care, and that's where we're at.
I'm like, sign an NDA before you come in my house just to have conversations.
Really?
Because nowadays, if you say the wrong thing, Chris Harrison said the wrong thing, okay? I'm not agreeing with what he said. He said the wrong thing. His career is over. He got paid handsomely. I'm not getting paid handsomely. I'm just kicking rocks.
Yeah, but if you're going to someone's house and having a discussion, you're not on he was on a national television platform, you know? So it's different.
But
he did that willingly.
Anything offends everybody, right? So NDAs, I think, are going to become more and more popular. I'm being extreme.
I thought you were going along the lines of like, all right, if they come over, you're this big Bachelor star, you guys hook up, and let's say she's like, you know, she wanted to stay the night. You sent her on an Uber. She goes and tells her friends, well, I was drunk, and he, you know, kind of was on me. It got a little rough. Then that NDA right there could possibly save you, you know, in that sense. But this is common. This is very common. This is nothing new.
I wonder if Common uses an NDA. No, that was a bad joke.
Yeah.
All right. Kim Kardashian is getting some unwanted attention from an overzealous fan. That was a really bad joke. According to TMZ, a man has been showing up to Kim's gated community as far back as February. Most recently, he reportedly showed up a few weeks ago saying he was there to pick up her for dinner. He's also allegedly harassed her online. Go figure. TMZ says it's believed the man sent Kim a package containing a diamond ring and a box of Plan B, which is used to prevent pregnancy. Kim's security team intercepted the items before they got to Kim, and now her legal team is planning to file a restraining order against the man. I would think so.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is creep show. You know, like we're laughing about it a little bit. This is creepy. This is very creepy.
It's so creepy. The fact that he knows where she lives, the fact that he feels he's got this like false sense of entitlement that he can go and do that, and that she even wants his stuff. Like, and also, like, how scary is that? For me, the Plan B thing is scary. It's like, is he suggesting he's going to do something to her? Like, it's very frightening.
I thought it was like, I want to get married, but I don't want to have kids.
He's being up front.
I thought it was like being behind it. But again, like, we're laughing at it because this is our job. But yes, this is a problem.
It's a Lifetime movie. It's the beginning of a Lifetime movie.
Oh my gosh, no, but we've seen this with so many celebrities, and they have like these crazy stalkers, and sometimes it gets so out of hand. And like, even look at like Selena, the singer, and like her fan that worked with her, that shot her, and you know, things get wild. I don't know. People have this weird fake sense of like, if they see you on the screen, and we're in people's homes every day. We love you guys and we love your comments and things like that. But people then sometimes get this weird fake sense of like they can say things as if they know you personally and treat you terribly and apparently send you emergency contraceptive.
come up to me on the street and I'll sign an NDA and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
Coming up,
spicy.
DBL, we're talking with actress Yolanda Ross from Showtime's The Chi. And did Melinda Gates really hire a private eye to investigate Bill? The surprising new details in their ongoing divorce. That's coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by...
It feels like we've been talking about space tourism for decades, but it could finally be launching into reality. Let's connect the dots. In April of 2001, wealthy businessman Dennis Tito paid $20 million for a seat on a Russian Soyuz. It was pricey for a short trip, and since then, only 7 people have followed suit. According to reports, NASA's always been hesitant to allow tourists to travel with astronauts. It was really only the Russians, looking to cover costs, that were willing to let tourists on board. But now, with the rise of private companies, options to travel into space are popping up left and right. Blue Origin is planning a suborbital flight on July 20th. While Jeff Bezos and his brother will be on board, there'll also be a winner of an online auction. And in September, SpaceX is launching 4 civilian astronauts into space on board the Crew Dragon capsule. Despite these promising steps, it hasn't been smooth sailing. Virgin Galactic is the other big private player when it comes to space tourism. A pilot was killed in a crash in 2014, and engineers were forced to make changes. Now it says it won't launch tourists until 2022. Then there's the price. Depending on the trip, tickets range from $55 million to $200,000, keeping the stars out of reach for most of us.
Welcome back to DBL. If you thought your partner was cheating, how far would you go to find out? Would you hire a private investigator? Well, Vanity Fair is out with new details about Bill and Melinda Gates' divorce. In the article, they say Bill would change cars to meet with women. They also claim someone from Melinda's team hired a private investigator to dig up dirt on the billionaire. Melinda's team denies this, saying Melinda never hired a PI. But the question is, would you hire a PI to spy on your partner if you thought they were cheating or something was weird?
Because if we're going to go to the sex story for me, we're going to go to the would you hire a private investigator for one of your boyfriends?
I reckon you could work it out yourself.
Let's say
No
husband.
way.
Okay, let's change the scenario because
Okay.
a boyfriend, that's a lot of money. Let's say there's a lot of money on the line. You're wealthy as well, and you found out your husband was cheating on you. Now, would you hire a private
Well, if
investigator?
you knew they were cheating on you, why do you need a private investigator? And it
Court.
depends. It depends
You're gonna
on
need
where
that
you
stuff in
live.
court.
Denver, Colorado is a non-fault state, so it doesn't matter if anything happens, you get divorced. Then it is what it is. Not every state.
You know the
is-
rules? Yeah, you know the rules?
Yeah, I know all these rules.
Oh, really? See, that's why we went to her for her expertise on
No,
this.
but it depends obviously what state you live in, because it can affect so many different things. It can affect custody of your children, your finances, so many different things. So it depends. If you genuinely are concerned, check up the laws in your state and where you're at and what that means for you. It's very important. But I think if you really think that someone's doing that and you if you're having to go to the lengths of hiring a private investigator, there's something already very fundamentally wrong within the relationship, let's be honest.
But what if you got millions or billions on the line in this case? You're going to need some sort of hard evidence to show the judge so you get paid, right?
No, absolutely. People can hire them for all sorts of different reasons, whether it is like this. Apparently he was getting in and out of cars with different women. Also, there was rumors that he was seeing his previous partner, and they went on vacation for 1 week a year, and that was apparently allowed. So again, every single relationship is different. What is and isn't allowed, what you do and don't agree with. And obviously at this point, she's crossed the line but there's so much money on the table for them. How much money do they both need?
How about just suspicion? Would you hire one for suspicion, or maybe to get dirt on somebody? You can do that.
No, not for dirt, but if there's money. Remember, they got that whole Da Vinci Code book. That's when we're talking about breaking up estates, breaking up money, forget the money, forget the house. They got a whole book with Michelangelo, whatever he did. So yeah, you're going to need dirt. You need dirt on that person.
Did you ever see that old TV show and it was called Cheaters?
Yeah, he got punched in the. Didn't he get punched in the face or shot?
Every day.
I don't know if this is true. I thought somebody got stabbed.
Yeah,
and that's why they stopped the show.
I used to love
I don't know that for sure, but I think that's what happened.
I used to love that show, so like that's my advice. Revive Cheaters.
I think the host got punched one time.
Yeah,
too.
I would host that show.
I saw mad stuff.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
Madness.
That was a good show. All right, coming up on DBL, Erica is catching up with actress Yolanda Ross from The Chi. You don't want to miss it.
The Chi.
We all know that.
Several times a day, you may get that insufferable call that has
"This message is from the Social Security,"
or on the other end, and you've probably wondered, why can't we stop robocalls?
The U.S. is somewhere close to 5 billion robocalls every month.
It's just certainly important to not pick up the phone unless you absolutely know who's calling.
Our sources are Alex Kalichi, CEO of Umail, a company that specializes in blocking robocalls, and Amy Knopfziger, Director of Fraud Victim Support for AARP.
Think of robocalls as like banner ads. They're really cheap, they're really easy to do, and enough people click on them or answer the call and respond that they're worth doing.
For something so easy to make, our experts say they're difficult to stop, especially when they come from spoofed phone numbers.
It's like a game of whack-a-mole. You take one down and another one pops up.
To start, law enforcement officials are limited by their jurisdictions.
So a lot of the call centers are actually overseas. But the biggest problem is it's hard to tell the good robocallers from the bad.
And that's the other point. States and the federal government can't just stop all robocalls. A large section of robocalls are actually helpful. They're used for prescriptions or for doctor's appointments. So in the meantime, companies like Umail have designed apps to weed out the bad ones. And our experts say the federal government recently passed laws to help cell phone providers do the same.
Because it's actually going to allow and empower these telecommunication companies to verify and authenticate the phone number that is showing up on your caller ID.
Welcome back to DBL. Showtime's hit series The Chi mirrors the drama many Americans face today. Earlier, Erica spoke with one of the show's breakout stars, Yolanda Ross, about season 4 and more. That's today's Chatting with the Stars.
Yolanda, sis, welcome to DBL.
I'm happy to be here, Erica. We've been watching you.
Girl, I am so excited. I mean, we have so many connections. You are my Instagram friend. And you know, I know all about The Chi. Of course, I'm from Chicago, so the show really hits close to home. But first, let me shout out your parents, because I know that your parents are a part of the DBL Nation, and we love them.
You know they're watching right now, so.
I love it.
Now I'm going to hear all about it, so I'm just trying to make sure everything is right.
Everything will be perfect, and we appreciate them watching. So let's talk about you, because your story is so amazing. Now, you started acting, and your first gig was on SNL. So explain how you, quote, stumbled into that opportunity.
This store that I worked for in Soho called Nana, one of my employees, her name is Kelly, she used to do background work for SNL. So one weekend she was sick, and I was just like, well, this is New York. You know, any amount of money you can get, you go for it. And I was like, so could I just fill in for you? You know, I'm a body. They can use me. And they did use me. So SNL, they hired me that weekend, and they kept hiring me. So I ended up getting my union card and then an agent. And so, you know, in the late 90s, you could see me in the background of, like, say, Night at Roxbury. There were so many characters because I was there every weekend. So it was just a lot of fun. I made a couple extra $100 each week. Got to see the musical guests and, you know, got my union card.
That is amazing, but it also is a testament to what happens when you hustle. So everybody out there, you remember that, okay? Now, before you landed a lead role on The Chi, you just mentioned you also stole scenes in other major projects like New York Undercover, Antoine Fisher, and How to Get Away with Murder, which, oh my gosh, is like one of my all-time faves. Do you have any like funny or quirky stories about any of those stars?
There is a little one with Denzel when we were doing Antoine Fisher. That was like my second big thing that I had done. You know, they colored my hair at the time and he was giving his approval and he was just like looking. Then he just went, you know, and he was just like, I just had to like mess with your hair.
Oh.
So people like that girl's hair. What can I
like Denzel touched your hair?
Like, mess with it. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
Yeah, I know. He might be the only one who gets an exception to touch your hair.
Anybody else is death stare, like, don't even.
Exactly. Well, your character, Jada, in The Chi is a single mom, and this season she's an empty nester battling cancers.
I know if anything happened, he wouldn't be able to handle it.
You're not giving him enough credit.
I know my child.
How does this reflect current issues within our healthcare system?
Well, you know the disparities are there. You know they're there. With this subject, I went in and I started working with a lot of organizations here in Chicago that deal with healthcare disparities. We can be doing everything we are supposed to, but we are not getting the care we are supposed to. It's not the same level of care. And, you know, and Jada goes through this on the show as well.
I love what you guys are doing. I've been a day oneer because I remember when Ty got booked on the show, y'all debuted about the same time that we debuted. And I've just been cheering like for you guys the whole time. Yolanda Ross, I look forward to seeing so much more of you. Listen, follow another member of DBL Nation by watching season 4 of The Chi on Showtime. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Erica.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Local leaders and businesses are getting creative to try and convince people to get the COVID-19 shot. But do vaccine incentives really work? Let's connect the dots. It depends on how hesitant people are in the first place. The more hesitant someone is, the less likely an incentive will work. According to a recent poll, men were more likely than women to get the shot for a prize. The survey also found millennials were the age group most likely to be motivated by freebies. Cash is king. A study earlier this year found that 2/3 of adults say money is what's most likely to motivate them to get the vaccine. But some experts say incentives could backfire. Psychologists say offering cash for something makes people think there's a risk associated with it, which is not the case with the COVID shot. And that is connecting the dots.
This is for Jeff Schroeder from your co-workers at Daily Blast Live. Well, you've been around the sun another time, Jeff. That means you're a year older. One time around the sun is a year. Well, you want to be me for a day. Whoa. What you have to do is get up at 5:35 a.m. Get dressed, stretch out, brush your teeth, wash your face, and everything else you do by instinct. No plans. The best way to make plans is don't make them. Just be natural with it, your natural purpose of living. Now, we were both on Big Brother. I'm in London and you're in LA. Okay.
Welcome back to DBL. When it comes to your home, design trends can go in and out of style pretty quickly. So according to an HGTV host, certain trends can actually tank your home's value. We're chatting about it in today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. First, don't go overboard with do-it-yourself projects.
Jeff.
It's definitely me. DIY stuff are usually too personal and potential home buyers may not appreciate your unique sense of style. I don't appreciate yours. Second, excessive tiling. It's a new and popular trend, but it can make the room feel smaller and busy. And lastly, avoid painting your walls gray. I have a gray wall. The color doesn't photograph well, which is important when reselling your home. When it comes to your home, we've made it easy for quality and affordable home insurance. The Buck's got your back. The Hartford will be happy to provide you solutions. Call the Hartford at 1-800-684-6085 or visit thehartford.com to learn more.
Today was the Buck's got Jeff's back.
They didn't have my back today.
So to go back to the private investigator, someone just DM'd me now, like, what if your spouse said to take a lie detector test? Would you do that?
Yeah, if you've got nothing to hide, why wouldn't you?
I had to take one of those. We did the show Marriage Boot Camp, and we had to take a lie detector test.
Was you nervous in case it went
Yeah, I
wrong?
was super nervous because at this point, you're in the hands of the producers, and if they want to like cause some drama, and I was like super nervous, but it was all good. Yeah, it was all good.
Okay.
Oh.
Never again.
The Buck's got your back.
The Buck did, yeah, he got my back. All right, guys, before we go, I want to wish a very happy anniversary to our executive producer, Bert, his wife. How's that for job security right there? DBL's new every day. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. See you guys.
Thank you.